we already offer robust data analytics for manufacturers and distributors that are looking to learn more from all of the data that you're analyzing. So how are you now implementing AI into this new offering that's going to make it easier for our current clients and our future clients?
So SPARXiQ for a long, long time, over 30 years, has been aggregating transactional data from manufacturers and distributors. And these data, broadly speaking, are point of sale data. So they reflect who bought from them, what did they buy from them, what did their market baskets look like, what were their costs, what were their prices, their quantities. And all that great data has, broadly speaking, been internal data. So today, as we are looking at the possibilities of marketplace data and also of agentic tools, we're starting to think through how do we integrate the various solutions that we have, bring in a flow of market data to make all of these tools a lot smarter. So one of the things when we first started looking into the possibilities of agentic was how do we start to integrate, for instance, SPARXiQ pricing analytics, which we've marketed under the Price GPS brand, with our rebate analytics that we have in terms of SPA rebates that manufacturers provide to distributors. And one of the things we've learned over time, of course, is that smart pricing decisions depend on not only having a good pricing architecture, it also depends on getting the right cost from the manufacturer. So what we're doing is we're starting to really create this more, I would call it a more holistic approach to strategic pricing, where we're able to pull in manufacturer SPA rebate cost and pricing data to be able to recommend for a given customer what is the right cost basis from the manufacturer and what is the right sell price to the customer. So agentic for us is really bringing in a bunch of different prescriptive tools that we've had under the SPARXiQ brand, sales GPS, which helps salespeople, whether it's inside or outside salespeople, to really understand their customers, to identify what are the most important conversations for them to have in the moment of need. How do we upsell, cross-sell during order entry or responding to requests for quotes? Those tools historically have kind of sat in different silos. And what Agentic is doing now is creating the opportunity to really weave these solutions together. And then the last piece of it is really our Profit GPS analytics, which help our clients, manufacturers, and distributors to understand not just top-line gross margin, but also net profitability. And that requires us to have a robust view of cost to serve of customers and to be able to understand what is the net profitability of different product lines that we sell, net profitability of different customers, customer segments, sizes of customers, geographies, branches, all of those different layers of the marketplace. So the real value of Agentic now is being able to measure net profitability, to understand what are the root causes of defects in profitability, and then to be able to focus the frontline employees on either changing pricing, requesting different cost basis from the manufacturer, improving the product mix or share of wallet with the customer, or maybe rationalizing the cost to serve. So it's pretty complex, and if you think about the traditional tools that industrial and construction companies used, they're using BI tools. And BI tools have a lot of strengths to them. In fact, the data that feed BI tools are extremely valuable. The problem with BI tools, traditional BI tools, has been that they don't really make it easy for the right people to get the right insights. So I think for SPARXiQ clients, really the most important thing is now they've gotten used to using ChatGPT and other generative AI tools in their daily lives. We're now bringing the discipline and structure of the SPARXiQ databases into a natural search type of an environment. And that the transformation when you open up natural search is really important because, for example, there are a lot of different personas in the organization who need access to good business insights. For example, you have pricing managers who need to understand where do they need to adjust pricing to win more business or to improve profitability. You have IT managers who are struggling with the question, how do we simplify our file structures that are supporting the business? You have finance people who are understanding how do we elevate our financial performance across salespeople, branches, all these different layers, vendors. You have the sales manager who have weekly meetings with their salespeople, but they don't have clear insight as to what they should be talking about at their sales meetings. Or you have sales reps who are going to be calling on a customer and they need to know what's the most important topic of conversation. Or which customer should I be de-emphasizing in my call planning versus escalating. So over and over again, you have the real need is to really understand the personas within an organization, to have the right underlying data, and the right brain, if you will, which is really where the SPARXiQ methodologies and proprietary metrics come in. When you bring all that together, you now have a tool that can basically help anybody in the organization be able to answer the right questions, have the right insights without being a librarian. And to me, that's been my quest personally, has been seeing the poor adoption of BI tools because we kept asking people who aren't librarians to behave like librarians. And that was unrealistic. And what we're seeing today is that with more and more people becoming comfortable with agentic queries, natural language query, that we're able to really unlock huge amount of insight and help people do their work a lot better.